Hello everybody, I am Vangman427 and welcome to What is the Average? This is the show where I explain to you what the average video game, TV show, and everything in between is. Each episode will go over a particular topic and I'll explain to you why it's your average run-of-the-mill thing and how that's actually a good thing and why you might want to look into it. This episode's topic? Minecraft. What is Minecraft? Well, Minecraft is an open-world sandbox game that we've all come to know and love, and as of right now is kinda back on the rise. That's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about why I believe it's an average game, and again, how that's actually a good thing, and why you'd want that. First up, what makes Minecraft a good average survival game? Well, its simple and cubic style makes it differ from others in its genre, makes it step out and seem very, different. As well as its supportability and lack of not needing to need a lot of computing resources. I mean, seriously, have you ever tried playing Rust on a phone? It's not going to turn out well. Things are going to go up in flames. So, supportability and style. Mechanics of the game. Mechanics of Minecraft are unbelievably simple. You got simple movement keys like forwards, backwards, left, right, sprinting, all that jazz. And none of the weird thing where press 5 buttons to do a weird barrel roll or something. Building and collecting resources in the game is really, really easy and simple. You have a block of cobblestone in your inventory? Place it down and boom, you've got yourself a wall. You don't need to go gather resources in the same way you might need to in Ark Survival Evolved or Rust or other survival games of the genre, where you collect multiple resources from essentially ores and combine them to make one solid object. You have a block of wood in your inventory. If you place it down, you will place down one block of wood. You won't need to collect, other resources to make a wall that is only one section. This allows for much expandability and, creativity, as resource collecting is not as necessary and demanding. And, as of recently, they've added a crafting recipe book inside the crafting menu of the crafting table. How many times can I say crafting, right? This makes it so much easier. You don't even have to remember recipes now. Sure, you're gonna have to unlock them, which that sometimes can seem tedious, but as long as you remember a few base recipes, everything else will come to you quite smoothly. This also makes it great for newcomers. Why is the game still relevant, and why is it worth playing? As of lately, the game has been kind of making a bit of a resurgence. And this means the popularity in it is growing. It's already out past Fortnite by a long shot, and, since more people are playing it, it's easier to find people to play with. It's the world's best-selling game at 176 million games. I'm probably not pronouncing that wrong, but I don't know how to. So, obviously, servers are becoming more populated and some new ones are popping up, as well as realms, which are essentially private servers that you can have with your friends and things like that. So if you're looking to make some friends on this game, Minecraft's a great place to start. So if you're looking for a fun, simple, really just all-around compatible and well-known game that, people are going to appreciate, Minecraft is for you. Sure, it might have had its ups and downs in the past, and it was considered more of a child's game, but now people are coming back to it with more of a nostalgic look. And, since there's been many updates, some of that nostalgia has gone away, but not in a bad way. It's kind of gone in the sense that you've made room for it. You've made room for the new things to come in and help expand. Because if Minecraft hadn't updated for almost 8 years, of course no one's going to be playing it. It'd kind of be a boring game and not a lot of content. So, why would you want Minecraft to be an average game? Well, think of it this way. Say you have 3 cars. One's a fancy new sports car. It was really expensive, but if you were to drive it, everyone would, probably want to hitch rides with you, take pictures of it. You know, it'd be pretty, you'd be pretty popular with it. And then imagine you have a second car. Maybe not you have a second car, but just imagine a second car in general. It's your good old run-of-the-mill car, It's not a new car, it's a couple years old, could maybe use a wash. But it's reliable. It might not be the most fuel efficient, but it's going to get you where you're going to go. It's going to be safe. You know how the car works. It's a good car. But then let's say there's a third and final car. That car is kind of like an old rust bucket that was left in a barn or something and forgotten. It still might have all the pieces, but you might not exactly want to be a part of it. And you might not want to drive it a lot because it's, for all we know, might explode, and not in a popularity sense. So why would you want that average car? Well, if the average car is reliable, I'd want it. Is it cheap? Yeah, maybe it is. Because the problem with the new fancier car is if it's new and fancy, sure, it might have been tested to an extent, but think about it. It's probably going to be harder to maintenance, and eventually everyone's going to be begging you to take you everywhere else and take pictures, and it might have started out nice, but now it's kind of getting annoying. An example of this with video games would be the popularity of Fortnite. Fortnite would have been that fancy car, but now, since Minecraft has overtaken it, the old fancy car is kind of just becoming a party trick now. It was a trend, it was a fad. And that old reliable car is coming back. Now, one thing you have to understand, and this doesn't happen all the time, is that some games will kind of transition. They'll start out being the trendsetter, and they'll be super popular for a while, but eventually they won't fade into obscurity, but they'll fade into a point where they're not as popular as they used to be, but they're not a dead game. They kind of coexist among everything else. People are still searching them up and things like that, and there's still a market or still place on the internet. There's still places on the internet for them. So you'd still, if it stopped, people stopped making content about it, people would be sad and would want it back, but it's not fad. And then an old car that's broken down would have been a game that might have not been liked as much, or might have gotten lashback, or could have just simply been forgotten, maybe not be used or again played by as much people as it was before, and is considered again like a dead game. So sure, yeah, the trendy thing might be nice at the time, the shiny new car might be great, but how much money are you really willing to splurge on that car? I'd prefer something that was reliable and long-lasting, and essentially would always have kind of a market, and people would always want to, go to it. So that's a in-depth explanation of why you'd want the average. So, like I was saying, if you want to give Minecraft a try, there's at least 176 million other people who are playing it. So, why don't you? And that concludes the first episode of What is the Average? It's a short series. I hope to continue. And if you guys did enjoy it, be sure to like button if you want to see more of my content. Remember, subscribe and leave a comment down below, as is appreciated. And leave in the comments what you want my next review to be on. Remember, I can do TV shows, board games, etc. Obviously, expect these things to differ and come out at different times, but other than that, enjoy. I hope to see you in the next one.